So, wait, let me just make some back-end changes real quick for you guys. Before you guys start complaining, oh, there's no audio, oh, there's no something. You guys always have something to tell me. There's always something. Never do I hear when I start a stream, just, good job, Morj, the setup, it seems nice. It looks like you got it right. I've never heard that. There's always a problem. There's always some problem. And we're going to get into the ratings for different series in a second after this question from Ben. Where's the best place to discuss One Piece? I usually go to Reddit, but in my opinion, it's gone downhill. How about the Morj comment section? How about that? All right, this is the controversial one. The longtime enemy of One Piece fans, Naruto. Long-running rivalry. It's one of those rivalries that I think you could say, you know, Naruto, their fan base won a lot of the initial early battles, but the One Piece fans won the war. You know what I mean? Because for the longest time, sure, anime and manga, not super mainstream. But if you told someone you're a Naruto fan, at least people know what the fuck you're talking about. With One Piece, if you tell someone I'm a One Piece fan, actually back in the day, if you told someone you're a One Piece fan, it's almost a bonus. Because back in the day, this was before anime and manga got popular. If you told someone you're a One Piece fan, like, a lot of people wouldn't even know that's an anime. Fiery White Boy says, Con, hella filler. No, I will always give, okay, did filler right. I will always argue that Naruto's filler is a million times better than One Piece filler. The fact that people still can't see this, it's so simple to understand. It's so absurdly easy to understand. This shouldn't be controversial at all. The way One Piece does filler is genuinely the worst way you could do filler in any series, which is it makes the filler unavoidable. It makes the filler embedded into the show's actual content. You cannot watch cool scenes in One Piece nowadays without having those scenes ruined by 2 minutes of straight reaction shots, fodder making weird noises and cut out like frozen stills of their, you know, lifeless bodies just hanging around for no reason. You can't get through a full One Piece episode without 10 recaps on things that we already know. Fuck, things that could have happened earlier in the episode. They'll recap that shit. Hey, in case you missed the first 5 minutes of this episode, let's replay Luffy punching Kaido for the first time or something like that. In case for some reason you were getting a snack or something like that. Like, heaven forbid there's no fodder around to give reaction shots. Because when there's no fodder around to give reaction shots, then the animators, they have to really roll up their sleeves and be like, okay, let's just slow the whole scene down. If we can't fill it with, like, more shitty content, let's just take the content that's there and just make it slower. You know, like, if Kid's gonna punch Apu, well, I mean, he could slam him against the wall in one fluid motion, like a normal person, or we could show that he's angry about it for like 50 seconds. So just, you know, show his face and him like gritting his teeth. He's got to grit his teeth for a while. Apu's not going to move. Don't fucking worry about that. He's going to stand still right there. Then Kid's going to take another 45 seconds to get his metal together. Apu, by the way, at this point, has no idea what the hell's coming. He's just like, I'm good. I'm chilling. I don't know what Kid's putting together there. Certainly not something that will harm me. And then spend 2 minutes to have Kid actually hit Apu against the wall. And like, that's how One Piece generally does its filler. It does it the worst way possible. Naruto's filler is perfectly fine. Naruto's filler is literally just like, it treats, it's like, yeah, this episode shit, and that episode shit, and the following episode shit, and the following episode after that is shit. Guess what you can do? Don't watch those fucking episodes. Just skip the episodes. It's nice and convenient. You don't have to watch those episodes. It basically turns Naruto, like the way Naruto did filler, basically turned it into a seasonal anime. That's what people don't get. It's so simple. Just imagine Naruto's not a weekly anime. Imagine it's a seasonal anime. Imagine it's a seasonal anime. Imagine basically, okay, you're going to get some weeks of episodes, then it's going to go on break for a while. In fact, during that break, you could tune in and catch some shitty filler stuff if you wanted to, but if you don't want to, fucking skip it. It's on break. It's on break and it'll pick back up when the season starts again. And then you'll get like a month of episodes or something. And then it's going to go back on break. And then you can skip it again. It's so much better for viewing. It's like not even close. So it did filler right. It did filler a million times better than One Piece. Also, like, I love I love the way anime and manga portrayed the cool kids in school. Because the cool kids, it's It's like this. Maybe Japan's got it totally different. Totally different. But like in anime and manga, it's like the coolest kid in school is always it's always the quiet, brooding kid in like the far back of the class. Like the quiet, brooding kid. Granted, they're a genius in some aspect or whatever, right? But it's just like the kid that garners the most respect or attention. It's just the kid that would be in normal school bullied and picked on. Like in real life, I think this is why like, you know, like trench coat fashion is a thing and stuff like that among, you know, certain groups of kids and stuff like that. You know, like I think there's like, if you consume a certain form of media, it'll trick you into thinking that like being quiet, brooding, unapproachable, and mysterious is like the key to popularity. But in real life, you're just the weirdo that sits in the back of the class. Tyler Reed says the cool kid is somehow the school shooter. Yeah, exactly. Like if Sasuke went to real kid school, he would be on some sort of a watch list. Guaranteed. And like if you asked him like, hey, what's your biggest goal in life, kid? He's like, to kill my brother. Yeah, fucking yeah. School shooter, watch list, the whole works. JoJo's has a dumb power system. Let's be very clear. Stan's is basically like, what if all the characters had really random abilities and there were no real rules as to what allows them to have these abilities or what the constraints are? The abilities can just be anything or whatever, right? That's what JoJo's is, right? But does that make for some fun fights? Yes, makes for some really fun fights. It's like if you just say no rules to what abilities people can have, it allows you to set up by far the greatest variety of situations and obstacles to overcome, right? When you try and play with some rules, then, you know, then you can argue that there's more, you know, structure and logic to it, and you can see fights playing out within a certain logical structure, and that in itself is really, really interesting. So it's like kind of that's what Nen is to a degree, and that's what you might prefer. Some of the fights, 10 out of 10, great. But let's be real here. There's no part in JoJo's that has consistently good fights. Some of the fights, come on, dumb doesn't even begin to describe them. It's kind of like, who the fuck wrote this? What mental patient, what asylum did you go to? Which inmate did you give a pen and paper to come up with this fight? Because some of the shit, come on, we all know. Come on now. Like on the one hand, you've got like the Darby fight, which I referenced, but on the other hand, like we all know, like there's certain JoJo fights where it's just like, my stand ability is, if you eat a paperclip, then I'm able to like control your left arm or something like that. Something totally random. And then it'll be like, fuck, Jotaro, for breakfast this morning, we ate 5 paperclips. And then beads of sweat roll down Jotaro's face. And he's just like, haha, I have control over your left arms or some shit. And then the rest of their fight is like, I don't know, they'll solve it with some really weird solution. Like, this is when a JoJo's is at its worst. Like, this, when, like, Araki gets himself into, like, this weird fight scenario where, like, you're not even sure if he really figured out the solution that well, because the solution almost doesn't make sense.